pause that.
I don't.
Hey guys, Marlon here from Games and Warriors channel, and today we have episode 7 of Let's Talk Gaming. I have a returning guest, English from I'm English TV and from GamingRealm.com. That is my website. And also we have Sharpwing, the moderator of Games and Warriors channel. Of course, you guys know about Sharpwing, of course. And so we have a bunch of things that we want to talk about. And also, guys, we have a pre-E3 podcast coming up next week, because many of you guys know that I'm going to be going to E3. I'm leaving next Saturday for E3, and so can't wait. I'm really, really excited. This is actually like, what, my 10th E3? Yeah, my 10th E3. So
crazy, man.
Insane, right? Insane. The grind has been real. So yeah, hopefully next year it's gonna be our my 11th E3 next year.
I'm jealous. You've been to like
am.
10, and I've never been to a 1.
Exactly. That's what I'm like.
I've never
man.
been to any convention. Period.
Oh, it's an amazing, one of the best feelings ever. But it's like I said, man, it's just one of those things where it's a dream. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dream. That's all I can say. It's a dream. You know, it's an amazing feeling. But yeah, we have quite a few things to talk about today, and one of the biggest thing that I think is creating a buzz right now is Nintendo changed their E3 plans, and it's like, wait a minute, like I thought we were just gonna be showing Zelda and that's going to be it. So I know recently they put out information that they were going to be showcasing 90 minutes of footage of Zelda Wii U as well as a 90-minute demo. But that's great. That's wonderful. I'm excited about that. But here's the thing that's really bizarre to me. They showed a diagram of the West Hall of E3, right? Yeah. And Nintendo's area is like humongous compared to Sony and Microsoft. So it's like, yeah, and they reserved the theater. And I remember the last time when Nintendo reserved the theater, the Nokia Theater, because that's where they normally have their showcases. Back in 2014 when I was at E3, they showcased, for some reason, they showcased the Smash event there. Remember when they had the Smash tournament there?
Big tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now here's my theory, and then you guys can chime in one by one. You guys can take turns with this. Here's my theory though. We heard that they were going to be showing us Zelda, Wii U at the Treehouse event. Now normally when they have a Treehouse event, they normally do everything at the booth area, where they rent out the floor space area. Right. That's where they normally have the Treehouse event. But here's the thing. Okay, so if you're having the Treehouse event on the floor, what is the theater for? Which leads me to believe that maybe Nintendo have something up their sleeves, right? And they're trying to wow everybody with the NX. Maybe they're trying to silently sneak the NX into the world, like just blow everybody's mind at E3. I mean, what do you guys think?
Somebody in the chat thinks it's Smash NX.
Yeah, Smash NX and
Smash NX.
What I think is that they did say they're not going to show anything about the NX itself. So, I mean, the only thing I can think of with the theater is that maybe they can show us a trailer that they've put together of some developed games that maybe they're working on with NX architecture that they could show us. Because technically they wouldn't be showing us the NX, but they can show us footage of something that you could consider the NX. They probably won't even tell anybody because that's how Nintendo is. They'll just probably be like, enjoy.
They're secretive. They're very secretive.
Watch and enjoy. I'll leave everybody to speculate. What a great way to leave a lasting impression on people everywhere until next year.
If I understand this correctly, Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Japan are two different branches of the same company, right?
Yeah, but now they're merging their studios together.
Yeah, Japan was like for the most time the big kahuna. They were the ones that came up with most of the game projects, right?
Yes, I think so, right?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Marlon, I
yeah,
can't hear you, Marlon.
and like
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
yeah,
now.
Okay, great. Yeah. So the thing is, the really cool part. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
yeah,
now.
yeah. We can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah. The really cool part is about this time around for the NX, which gets me really excited, gets me real tingly, is that both their North American studio and their Japanese studio is merging together to create more first-party titles. And I think they're learning from their mistake to pump out first-party titles at a much more faster pace than with what they were doing with the Wii U, which is that's huge, man. But the thing is, it's like, why rent out such a big space at E3?
Exactly.
So something is up. I think that maybe they might showcase something regarding the NX. Maybe, like you said, maybe some software, maybe tease us with some games, not the console, but surprise everyone, with some games or something like that. Because all of that square foot, just for Zelda is 30 guys. It's 32,000 square foot.
Yeah, it's a lot of space, and it doesn't even make sense when you think about the space, like the floor space that they're only showing 90 minutes of Zelda, so they don't need that much space, especially when there's only gonna be a select people able to play it and on the floor. So I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. Now,
Yeah.
unless they're going to be, I guess they could be showcasing it in the theater as people are playing it. I don't
Could
know,
be a possibility,
because
but
everybody's not going to be on that area where people are playing it, because they're going to be ultra secretive. They don't want everybody viewing it and seeing it. So that's the only thing I can think of, but I honestly don't see why they would need that much space to do that. So
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
very interesting. Go ahead, Sharpwing.
yeah, he's got a big point. Like all that space being used for something frou-frou or lackluster doesn't seem like the kind of thing Nintendo would do. So
No,
if they're taking up that much space, they've got something big planned.
exactly.
They just don't want to tell us. They don't because they know the media. I think what it is. This is my theory. I think what it is that Nintendo don't want NX information to be leaked out there because it will ruin the surprise.
Exactly.
So maybe Nintendo is gonna showcase the. It's just a slight possibility that they might just showcase the NX at E3, but they just don't want us to get all excited and ruin all the surprise. Because what's the whole point of E3, right? To reveal
Yep.
things that we don't know about, even though some of it
Exactly.
gets leaked out before E3. What's the whole point of E3, right? To showcase things that we don't know about,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly, which is like the exact reason Nintendo had all these embargo agreements and
Yep.
stuff when you were streaming some of their earlier games. It makes a lot of sense. They still want some form of element of surprise to not have the whole project or the whole plan spoiled. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, you have two marketing strategies. You can be up there and abroad, or you could be secretive, keep all your ideas to yourself so that the public just becomes more and more anxious to see what you're going to come out with. And those are your two marketing strategies. Both work really well, but Nintendo's always been the kind of company that wants to keep a lot of
Lock
their
and key.
ideas lock and key behind a locked door. Exactly.
And another reason for that is that people think that these leaks somehow are like they are what it sounds like leaked, but it leaking stuff is actually a marketing strategy in itself. These companies
True.
do that to gain buzz. So I think that that's probably why a lot of people are frustrated because they don't know anything. It's like just tell us something, damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Nintendo's notorious for not letting anything get out there. And
I would say,
so
man, look, I would say just wait. You know what I mean?
people are reaching right
Because
now. They're reaching.
yeah,
Everybody's reaching because they want to know something.
I would say my whole thing is this. After Iwata's passing, and they were going through a lot of things emotionally. You know what I mean? Last year, but I feel like with this new president, I feel like he understands what the Western fans want. I feel like he understands the direction that Nintendo needs to go in order to be
Man,
more successful.
do
And
they?
so it's like I feel like at the end of the day, the game changer, the last bullet that Nintendo has to fire is the NX. And so they want to secure
Oh
that
yeah,
that precious thing, you know what I mean, which is the NX, because I feel like that's going to be the last straw that's going to break the camel's back. Because if they drop this ball, that's it. You know what I mean? Like they're going to ruin our minds to where it's like, man, I lost faith in Nintendo. People are already losing faith in Nintendo as it is because the Wii U is pretty much dead. It's sitting there, it's gathering dust. The last so-called game that we had was what? Star Fox Zero, and like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was an okay game. The controls, what messed up Star Fox Zero was that the motion controls, but you could turn it off. But it's just, yeah, after Star Fox Zero, and the fact that we're not getting Zelda Wii U until next year, and then the only thing that we have in between is like what,
it's
the
like what do we
Pokemon Sun
got?
and Moon, yeah, and that's not even on the Wii U. You know what I mean? So what do you have? So it's like, okay, the Wii U is pretty much dead, and now we want to see what you guys are gonna bring us at E3. Now they try to leak out some little stuff
Hmm.
um, for E3, which they changed their plans. We know about the floor plans and everything like that. But here's the other interesting theory, and it's like when the PR for Nintendo today, they emailed us and they said, hey, we want to give you guys floor plan information on what we're going to be doing. So here's the thing though. So we're getting more stuff because at first they came out and said, "Oh, Zelda Wii U, that's it. That's all y'all gonna
That's
get."
it.
Now they came out and said, "No, we're gonna be showing more games." So it lets me know that Nintendo might be showing us the NX after all. But they want to be sneaky with it. They want to just, here's the big surprise. Reggie gets up on stage, or Kimishima gets up on stage, and here's the surprise. Because why would you reserve a
That's what I'm saying.
theater? Like, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
expecting a big audience.
A big audience. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
You don't
okay,
do that to reveal no Paper Mario's.
that's what I'm saying. And you don't do that for your treehouse. The treehouse is meant for the floor, the E3 floor, so that people can, stand around and stuff like that and check out what they have to offer. That's the whole point of a treehouse event. So you don't need a theater for a treehouse event. You see what I'm saying? So they have something else up their sleeves. Remember, okay, this was years back when they revealed. This was back in what, 2012, 2013, when they stopped doing stage
Yeah, they stopped doing the
presentations.
presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, remember when the Wii was coming out?
Oh
Remember?
man, dude, that
And
was
nobody knew
huge.
about it. Nobody
Nobody
knew
knew.
about it,
It was
right?
huge.
Miyamoto went up on stage and he was showing Wii music and all that stuff with the motion controls. Everybody was just going, losing their minds. Maybe that's what they're. I'm telling you guys, Nintendo is very secretive. Okay, so maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they don't want everybody talking about the NX, or better yet, think about this: the competitors, Sony and Microsoft. Look at the trend right now. Sony, well, if we don't even know if this is true, but we got information about a PlayStation Neo coming out, right? And
Hmm.
then right after Sony information got leaked out about the PlayStation Neo, here comes
Microsoft.
Microsoft with the Scorpio garbage. You see,
Yep.
you see what I'm saying? So think about this. I
Yeah.
need y'all to think about this.
Yeah.
Why would Nintendo, out of everybody, we know how secretive Nintendo is. Why would Nintendo come out, right, and drop information about the NX so the competitors know, oh,
Exactly.
they're using a 8-core
Yeah. See.
AMD. Y'all
Exactly.
think about it, guys. Think
Yep.
about what I'm saying.
They gotta get smarter. They gotta keep that information from getting out there because the competitors have gotten to the point that they will copy everything the competition is doing to make sure they can still attempt to monopolize the market.
Well,
Exactly.
in this situation, well, if you think about it, Nintendo has always been first. You
Yeah.
think about the systems; they've always come out before the competition.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, to get that head start. So I think
Right.
this time around, I
Yeah.
think it actually would benefit them because if they're not using AMD technology, then I really don't think there's anything that Sony or Microsoft can do at this point to really copy them if they're not using AMD technology because they've already purchased all of those chips from AMD.
Right.
It's a contract, so unless they went out and did something completely different, they can't at this point.
I mean, in regards to the VR and a lot of computer integration, Microsoft has a huge field advantage
Oh
just
yeah,
because of the fact that a lot of their engineers pretty much created
everything,
Windows.
man. I
So
mean,
they've already got like they're way ahead of the game of VR.
oh yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Since we're speaking about Nintendo now, there was an article that came out today um, that said that the production of the NX is being halted until 2017 because they might be doing a VR. So,
Oh, here we go with the
see,
The
ridiculous
VR, the
VR.
VR.
ridiculous rumors. Check
See
this
what I'm
out.
saying? It's these rumors that are flying.
Look,
Everybody has
man,
got.
look, bro. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Check this out, man. Like I was saying, okay. They don't want Nintendo wants to protect the NX with everything they have, like as far as protection is concerned, because like us, Joe, you know about how the tech industry works. If Intel announced because they're about to come out with their i7 Extreme Edition, which is 10 cores. Okay, if Intel puts out the specs for their 10 core Intel i7 processor, the Extreme Edition, guess what? AMD might look at that and be like, oh, wait, 10 cores, each of them running at 5 gigahertz apiece. Okay, let's up ours. Let's do 6 gigahertz. Let's do 12 cores instead of 10. So Nintendo is probably looking at it like, nah, we can't. We're not gonna leak out nothing. All you know is what that first it was called the NX Cross. Then people start calling it the NX. It's just like nobody knows what this thing is going to be. Then we heard that it was a hybrid from with a console and a handheld, and we heard
Mhm.
rumors that they were going to release the handheld version first, and then the console version in 2017. It's just so much rumors and speculations, but at the end of the day, I
Nobody knows.
nobody knows. But I still do believe. Now y'all can come back to this podcast. I still do believe, and I'm calling it right now, that Nintendo might just give us the NX at E3 this year. Like I just have a weird feeling because why would you spend millions of dollars? Oh, think about this, guys. Logically, why would you spend millions of dollars, okay, on a huge 32,000, okay, square foot space and then have a additional theater at E3? Makes no sense. Just to show off Zelda? Come on. No, no, no. I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. Just to show off?
They've got
No.
something planned.
They got something planned. Now listen to this though. Listen to this part. The article I put up on Game and Realm from Nintendo's PR today, they sent it to us. They said that the Treehouse is going to be split in a 2-day event. First, it said that it was just going to be one event on the
Yeah.
14th of June, right? So wait a minute. Leads me to believe that Nintendo have more things planned because first they hit us with the Zelda stuff. Now we're hearing additional things as we're getting closer and closer to E3. So we heard about Pokemon Go. They're supposed to be having some stuff on Pokemon Go, which is interesting. We're supposed to be getting the live gameplay, on the big screen for Zelda Wii U as well as the demo. Not only that, we're supposed to be getting some Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff, as well as Dragon Quest
Oh, the dragon.
7, yeah, and Tokyo Mirage. So it's like Monster Hunter generations, the new Monster Hunter generation. So we're getting all these games, but we just heard about Zelda the other day, right? And everybody was mad, like, Nintendo, why are you just showing Zelda? Why Zelda? Why just not give us something else? Why just the one game? But guess what, guys? Like I said, they have something up. They have something up their sleeves because there's just no way you can just rent out this huge, humongous space for no particular reason. That's just my whole theory on the whole thing with this whole space reserve thing. just for Zelda. I don't think so. And then this is the thing I don't like about Nintendo, and I'm going on record saying it, not because I'm partnered with them, not because they sponsor me, but I have to speak my mind. I have to tell you guys the truth, no matter what. Like, why not make it to where everybody can play the game? You've been delaying the game for
I'll be right back.
so much time. Like, you've been delaying the game. Okay, you've been delaying the game so many times. Why don't you let us play the game like everybody just play the game all together? Not, oh, a certain people can play the game, or oh, this person can play it, that person can't play it. Like, why are you breaking up the I don't get it. Why are you breaking up the gamers, man? Like, everybody goes to E3 to check out what's new. Everybody at E3 should be able to get their hands on Zelda, not a select few. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the big secret here? I'm not understanding what's going on with that.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. But at the end of the day, it's just yet to be seen what they're gonna end up doing. But I just feel like it makes no sense for them to just show Zelda and all these other games, but have this big old theater that's reserved for what? For I mean, are you gonna? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just hope Nintendo really knows what they're doing, because we know that they have money, but money is not everything, and we have to make sure that they have the capital to cover all of this stuff, like spend the money wisely and stuff like that. But just to have a select few of people just to play Zelda, what's up with the mass? What's the whole point of going to E3? To get everybody, journalists, upper echelon people, investors, everybody to jump on the next Zelda and then get the buzz going. Hello, you're trying to sell the game. You're not trying to keep it on the shelf. It's just like, come on. Why is there a selective few amount of people to get their hands on Zelda? Like, you've been pushing back the game so much. So that's just my whole theory on that, man. Nintendo, wake up, because
VR might have had a small audience, but think about this. They marketed it well, because when they went to the convention to check out the Vive, everybody there got a free Vive, and that thing was going to be like $500 to $600, and they got it for free.
Which is
basically
insane.
Just including the audience in on VR, perfectly marketed. Because you have people that are going to take this VR system, and since they got it for free, they're going to make the most of it. And there's no telling what these people will do with it. And the thing that a lot of these companies are starting to do differently is that they don't restrict, like, review or establishing points of view on a product, because any attention it gets just gives it more traction.
It's true.
Real talk, real talk. And like I said, man, it's just yet to be seen what Nintendo is going to be doing. We know Sony and Microsoft is going to be dropping bombs at this year's E3, and it's only right for them to drop bombs, right? Like, it's only right within their right to drop bombs at E3. So Nintendo, please wow us. Win the Nintendo fans back, and try to get some more. Try to get some more people to jump on your platform. But I do feel like they're gonna nail it, though.
I mean, we have shown plenty of times gamers are strong as a community, but what makes our community so powerful is how simple it is to be a part of the community. The numbers are so incredibly large, because to be a gamer, you don't have to be anything other than a person that just likes to play video games.
It's true.
That's about it. And it's like, one thing we can agree on is that we all enjoy playing video games. That's just what makes the community so strong. Trying to tear that apart is futile, because there's just too many people to separate.
Exactly.
True.
And that's another reason why these companies keep bleeding us.
They keep bleeding us. They keep pouring junk into our hands. Yeah, we'll play it.
Exactly.
But there's still too many people that know when they're being given repetitive trash. They just know. And we've made it clear, what we want. There's been so many different stories about gamers right now. The company's constantly antagonizing gamers. All these people that want to change the way gaming's done, antagonizing gamers. But who keeps coming out on top? The gamers.
A real talk. Now,
Yeah.
this is a topic that I really want us to touch upon real quick before we get into the next main topic on the podcast. Now, this is bothering me because it's part of my childhood, but at the same time, it's like, where does the buck stops? Let's see. We had Sonic Boom, garbage. We had Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, garbage. So Sega is
Man.
going to be at E3 this year, okay? And I'm like, Sega, you are going to be at E3. I don't want anything rehash. I need Sonic to be redone all over again. We need something fresh again from Sonic. No rehash old game. Oh, the 23rd anniversary collection, blah blah blah. No, we need something fresh from Sonic, and I know a lot of
We
people.
need a Sonic game, not just a rehash of something that was already
Sonic
good.
in it.
Mainly because this generation needs something to show the future generation to keep the love of Sonic going. That's one thing.
Yeah,
You
'cause
can't
he's
just
dying
give
fast.
kids rehashes of old games and expect them to fall in line with that. How did Undertale become big and stuff like that? It was its own thing. It's its original thing. It's probably going to be something the future generation's going to enjoy. Hell, Toby Fox probably put himself on the map just from that one game. But the point is, you don't rehash old stuff. You just keep the good formulas that you had and improve what needs improving. That's the point of these sequels. A sequel is supposed to be better by improving everything that the first one failed on.
True.
But instead, they do it backwards.
You
They
know
change
why?
everything that was good about the first one, and then everything that was like, it's like,
It's a lack of creativity, man.
yeah.
Developers getting lazy.
Rather than just improve what was lax, they change what was there, and then just the whole thing is just not as good as the original. I don't understand why they keep doing that.
That's why we keep getting rehashes, man.
It's like, do they even play their own games after
No.
they finish
Of
making
course
them?
not. You see all these bugs that come out in these games that make them almost unplayable, and you're like, who signed the paper to let this be sent out in mass production to stores nationwide?
That's how we
Who
got
signed
Batman
the
Arkham
papers?
Knight on the
Like, who
PC.
signed-
It was
who signed the
it was a
papers?
bad port.
Who said that? Who signed the papers on it and said this is good to go?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Who? Like some
track.
60-year-old guy who has to really adjust his glasses and be like, yeah, that's a quality Richie game.
Yeah, I just don't understand it because they have the same platforms that we have. So I don't get it. I don't understand
I'm
that.
never gonna get it, bro. It's
The
not me to get it.
formula is simple. Stay true to the genre you're working on, and the only thing the gamers will demand is to have fun, which is in somebody's right. Because when you buy a toy, when people used to buy board games, they wanted to be satisfied with what they were getting. The reason some people play freaking cards sometimes is for that satisfaction.
For real.
The whole purpose of the entertainment industry is to entertain. That's it. If you want to send some big compelling message or something, that's your prerogative. But make something that expresses you.
Oh my god.
I mean,
It's ridiculous, bro. Like I said, I'm tired of the old garbage Sonic games, the rehash, the generations after generations after generation, this, that, remix, collections, all of this. No. I'm tired of that. Sonic was a part of my childhood, and just like how Mario is, but at the same time, it's like, it's time out. That's why Miyamoto came out and he said, you know what? After 30 years of doing Mario, now the next Mario games after this, all we're gonna see is fresh Mario games. Like the story is going to be different, the gameplay is going to be
Yeah,
different, and
just
it's
completely
about
reinvent them.
time. Yeah, just total revamp. A total revamp game. I mean, it's just like a brand new
You know, I
Mario
don't
game
mind
all
a
over again.
revamp when the old things run its course. I don't mind a revamp. I don't think anybody does. But it's like sometimes companies get revamps really, really wrong.
Yeah, when they get them wrong, that's just like when you're like, wait a minute.
I mean, have you seen the Devil May Cry revamp? It's
Yeah,
nothing
man,
compared to the original Devil May Cry's.
exactly.
It was so bad in the eyes of Devil May Cry fans. They had to go back to the original Devil May Cry, so the next Devil May Cry will just be another installment in the original Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, it was
That's when you
garbage.
get a revamp wrong.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's yet to be seen, man. We just gonna have to wait and see on what they decide to do. Now, here's the next topic, and this is no surprise to me at all that this actually happened, but Overwatch sold more than 7 million copies worldwide. Now, that's insane. The game just came out not even a week ago?
It's
Like
insane. A little over a week.
yeah, a little bit over a week, right? 7 million copies sold worldwide, making it, in my opinion, one of the fastest selling multiplayer games of all time. You know what I mean? And not only that, it broke even more records for playtime. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, the playtime's insane.
It's insane. 119 million hours of gameplay for Overwatch. That's insane. That's like Call of Duty numbers. That's like Halo numbers back in the day. That's insane numbers. And I knew this game was gonna be a hit. Blizzard equals online
I
game
mean,
equals amazing stuff.
Overwatch is managing to be a bigger hit than Team Fortress 2 with a lot of
Exactly.
internet players, but it's because, and people have established this, Overwatch just seems like Blizzard's own personal Team Fortress 2. It really
Yeah, that's
does.
basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's all it is. And if you played Team Fortress 2 and you're a fan of that game and that then you're automatically gonna, like I said, you're gonna feel at home playing Overwatch because
Yeah.
it's gonna feel natural to you.
I mean, yeah, I didn't have a problem with Overwatch, but one thing that did upset me is that whole Nestarius thing was going on while they were trying to launch Overwatch. So a lot of the views of a lot of WoW players and stuff were basically just thrown to the side. And all people wanted was legacy servers so that they could play the older WoWs back in the nostalgia days that put Blizzard like further on the map than they originally were. World of Warcraft is kind of what got them there, but I have to address this. Overwatch, I'm proud of you, but
No,
why
but
Blizzard? Why did you ignore all those people that would have resubscribed to you for World of Warcraft? You could have put World of Warcraft back on the map. It could have been streamable. There would have been massive sensations. You did the same damn thing Capcom did to fucking Mega Man. Why?
the fan base is there, man. I don't think that I think that they can afford to take a break.
Oh, I like how somebody mentioned Mega Man in the chat. That's great.
I mean, I
And
personally think it was a
you,
ballsy move
yeah,
to create something like this, like Overwatch, and just to test the waters because it was a big test, and it
and
seems
it
like
worked. It
it's paying
worked.
off, and I think that sometimes you gotta you gotta go with something new instead of staying with something that you're comfortable with, and I think that's what they did. They
Oh
stepped out
yeah,
and it paid
I'm
off.
I'm proud of Overwatch. I mean, it's definitely earned its title. It's definitely a good game, and it was great on release. It was funny when I was streaming on Team Fortress 2 and Terraria. People were asking me if I was gonna play Overwatch, and I didn't manage to get Overwatch. And at the same time, this was while the whole Nestarius thing was going on, and it's like you gotta understand. I hate when the voices of hundreds of thousands of people go
Get
ignored by
ignored.
these big companies. I hate that. And my way of protesting is by saying, no purchase, I refuse.
True.
And, it's like, there were a lot of WoW veterans that liked World of Warcraft, and it's like, ah,
Yeah.
my girlfriend was in that circle of people. That bothers me. It bothers me even more because it hurts her too.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, like I said, I have nothing more to say, but awesome job, Blizzard. I mean, you made an awesome game, and it's definitely contender for Game of the Year next to Uncharted 4, which I can't wait to review that game. Still in the middle of beating Uncharted, but Uncharted is
That's a
definitely
great
on the
game.
top. Yes, it's one of the greatest games I've ever played in just this whole entire generation period. Like this, that game is just phenomenal. Graphics, gameplay, story, replay value, just everything that you can think of that makes up a game, just in one cohesive unit. It's Uncharted 4. But yeah, shout outs to Blizzard, man. Amazing game, Overwatch.
I mean,
It's
when you have
very
a
addictive.
game, when you have a game that during the beta over 9.7 million people logged in to
Insane.
play it,
Insane,
and then they
man.
come out in a little over a week,
I,
they have over 7 million registered users. That is insane because
you
that
know,
other 2
yeah.
million and change are probably people that haven't gotten it yet because they don't have the money yet. And it's only been a little over, it was only a little over a week. So it's like, holy crap, what are they going to do over 30 days?
Yeah, real
When,
talk. It's
when
gonna
Like,
payday
be
hits for most people.
I'm actually curious if Overwatch is going to eventually follow in the same path as TF2. They get so big and so large, they make the game free, and then they can still pick
Yep.
up the slack by making all that money
That's
just off
how,
of
oh
people
man,
purchasing cosmetics.
that's how all games should be, I
Yeah.
believe. When you
I
look at
mean,
MOBAs like freaking Dota 2, League of Legends, Heroes of Storm, I mean, when you
I
look at
mean,
games like that are free to play, it stops nobody from enjoying the experience. It
and
stops
it's like,
nobody from getting into it.
yeah, it's like at the same time, even if you aren't higher grossing than the other companies, you show you have a dedication to your fan
Exactly. It's
base
a
and that you
dedicated
trust
fan
that
base.
and you trust the donations and money that you get will come from people that really care about the project you're fighting for.
Dude, I
And
play
that gives
Dota
you a
so
lot of
much.
street cred and gives you a lot of trust in your fan base.
I play
And
Dota
if you
2 so
gain that
much, man.
trust, you have a lot more power than some of the world's largest businesses because it's not always the money that's absolute power. People have shown time and time again there's more strength in numbers.
That's true. Like I said, every other month when they have like some new tournament going for Dota 2, people are donating. It could show like the day afterwards, and they already have like $1 million for prize money for like a tournament that
Yeah,
people online that are playing free will
and
just
there are
donate to
people.
buy like cosmetics and stuff to
Yeah,
go towards that tournament. It's just like holy shit.
yeah.
It's like
People go
okay,
to packed stadiums to watch people play those games. That's
it's crazy.
dedication.
Esports is crazy right
That's
now.
dedication.
You don't
yeah.
need to sell a game for $60 and then still bleed people for cosmetics. You don't need to.
And
Don't
it's
get
like
me started on that. Don't get me started on
I
that.
understand that some people have a problem with roping video games in with sports and stuff like that, especially sports fans who want it to stay football, basketball, baseball. I get that. But the thing I see in this whole tournament thing is that it just shows how undying people's devotion is to this. That they've accepted it so wide into human culture that it's pretty much as widely accepted as sports, if not more.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's man. Yeah.
Bravo, Overwatch.
Bravo, man. Overwatch. Yes.
Bravo.
Go pick up. Go pick up. Y'all watching this? How many people we got in here?
Shoot, man.
13, 14?
For the last week, every day I've seen just on YouTube Gaming alone over 100 live
It's number one.
streams.
It's number
Over
one.
100 live streams all day. 100 plus
Overwatch,
live
man.
streams all day. All day. All
Overwatch,
day.
Overwatch, all the way through.
Insane.
Insane, man. Next topic here, real quick, that we want to touch upon, and it's surprising to me that a lot of stuff with Microsoft is not a secret. Microsoft is not like Nintendo. So their stuff is going to get leaked out. Not all of their stuff, because last year they actually had a good conference. And stay tuned, guys, because while I'm at E3 and stuff, we're going to have each day of E3, we're going to have a roundup podcast where we review each day. like review all the conferences, give you guys all our thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. But yeah, so Xbox One price drop. It's official. This is
Huge.
official.
Huge.
The cheapest next generation console that you can get on the market right now, and it's $299 for a standard 500 gigabyte console, as well as they still have the Division Xbox One, which is 1 terabyte. Now there was rumors surrounding all of this stuff, stating that there's going to be a Xbox One Slim. Now, why would you announce officially your price drop before E3? Leads me to believe that, okay, you dropped the price of your console again because it was $399, then it went to $349, and now it's $299. So it leads me to believe that the Xbox One Slim rumors are true. Now Microsoft is known for stuff like this. Like they'll come out with, of course, the ugly, bulky system, which is the standard one, and they'll come out with a slim version, and then they'll come out with a slightly modified version as far as the tech is concerned, where it's less power,
more
consumption.
power efficient.
Yeah, more power efficient, a little bit more faster on the processor.
Better cooling.
All that stuff. Now, the Xbox One Scorpio, I can see that being true because the Xbox One, when you look at the tech side of the Xbox One, the processor, the memory, the hard drive, everything in there is like outdated. Like if you build an Xbox One PC out of that Xbox One guts, you'll get a very slow PC, very, very slow PC.
And you won't pay what they charged you.
Exactly. We're overpaying. We're overpaying for the Xbox One. You see what I'm saying?
Kind of overpaying. You can make a computer cheaper than you can a game console. And it used to be the fact that people thought, PC gamers were like PC Master Race because their gaming setup was so damn expensive and so inaffordable. But now these consoles are becoming more expensive than a decent PC.
Exactly. And they perform less.
They perform less. But I'm glad there's a price drop going on with these consoles, because you know what that means? They're going to start to have a price dropping competition potentially.
I don't know if it's going to get
we'll
as
drop
low
our
as
price further than
$299.
theirs.
I wrote that article, man, and I said it's smart for Microsoft to do that because if they kept it the same price, mind you, just think about it. If they kept everything the same price,
PlayStation 4 was winning out on them because PlayStation 4 was already cheaper than Xbox One, and it ran better.
Cheaper. And it ran better. And it
ran better.
It's like if they kept everything the same price and then they released the Slim at E3, what's going to happen to those old Xboxes, the old gen Xboxes at the stores? They're going to be forced to slash the price even further than $299 because nobody's going to want to buy them.
Of course.
Right.
Everybody's going to want the new stuff, the new shiny looking one, you know what I mean, the new one, slim one. So they're better off doing it now, slicing the price now, save the hurt later. Slice your arm off now, you know what I mean, cauterize it,
Real talk.
Before you release the new one. Because that's what they need to do. It's just business. That's the smartest thing to do, is to drop the price now.
The bottom line is English is that we know that when it comes to consoles, we're not getting value for our money. When it comes to PCs, that's the best value for our money.
Oh, it's the best.
When you look at the architecture from both systems, it's like a five-year-old system that we're basically buying. A 5-year-old PC. The graphics card in both of them, it's equivalent to maybe a AMD Radeon 700 series.
7900, man.
7900 series. You see what I'm saying?
Somebody go. Anybody who's watching, go type in AMD HD 7900 series, and see how much that card is. And then you'll laugh. You'll be like, "What?"
Yeah,
exactly.
and then you'll buy an AMD APU and a motherboard, and then see how
Yeah.
quick you can put together a system with that same specs.
I mean, people have been trying to convince me that
Insane.
these newer, flashier NVIDIA cards are better than the one I currently have, but I actually did a physical comparison, and the GTX 780 Ti beats out the 1080 that just came out.
That's insane. That don't even make sense. And they just bragged and boast that it's the 1080
Oh, they
card
make it
is
look so
like
cool and flashy,
more.
and they say it's so powerful, but it's not compared to some of the older models.
It's crazy, man. It's
The
just a
780 beat
marketing
out the
scheme.
Titan, and they claim the Titan to be the best one of that generation. The 780 Ti beat out the 980,
This is
and it
what
beats out the
when
1080.
it comes to those graphics cards, man. This is what they produce a massive set of die chips, and they say, okay, let's allocate these many chips, and we're gonna cut them down. So that's all they do. They make a massive stock of chips that can perform at the highest level, and then they go from there and they start cutting stuff down. That's how they have to make money.
I mean,
Yeah.
Each little cut, they have to charge them. They have to price them accordingly to make back all that money and then some. And so, if you're, I'm PC for sure, and if you're gonna like buy cards every generation, you're kind of stupid. Only
Wasting money.
you're only good if you go into that generation buying the lesser one. So if you come out right now and buy a
yeah.
1070, you'll be good for maybe the next two generations. I'm still rocking SLI
The
970s,
sad thing is
GTX
you
970s.
really
And
won't know what's
don't need
best
to
unless
upgrade.
you test them. Yeah, you don't need to
I
upgrade.
don't need to upgrade. The only thing that I could upgrade is the memory, the VRAM, because I only got 4 gigabytes. I would love 8 gigabytes, but
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't need it.
only thing this computer needs is more memory space, and I already got tons of memory
And I already
space. But I need more because of how many games I got.
exactly. So it's a
Yeah.
gimmick, and you know, a lot of people that are uneducated about it will run out and try to buy it just because it's the next best thing.
It's the next best thing, yeah, but it's
Oh,
not. They're not realizing that it's underpowered, and not only
exactly.
that too. Not only listen to this, guys. Not only that is that look. We already know. That's what I tell people all the time. You spend 500. Remember back in the day, it was $600 for a PS3. Okay,
That was
and
insane.
it was insane, and that thing was just mad underpowered to what we have now, right? For $600, you can get a killer PC. You could build a killer PC back then for that particular price, and it will last you all the way from the PS3 came out to now, and you still wouldn't really have to upgrade anything. But here's the thing. Now, these companies are smart. Like you said, with the whole die chip thing or whatever, that's basically what the consoles are. It's like Nintendo already had the NX planned out from
Exactly.
days
That's what people don't understand.
and the Wii. You see what I'm saying? These things are planned out 5, 6, 10 years ago. Okay, and they know what chip they're going to put in there. They know what games they're going to make. These companies plan way ahead of time. This is not something that was just thought about last week or last year or whatever. No,
No.
years ago. Now, here's my theory. This is a money-making industry. One of the biggest entertainment industry in the world is gaming. One of the biggest, right? Besides movies and music and everything else. But here's the thing. They know what they're doing. Every
Of
time they
course.
come out with a slimmer version, every time they come out with a more powerful system, people are going to go out there and trade in the original system to get the slim, and then this processor is more powerful, the graphics card is more powerful, the RAM is faster. Take my money, Microsoft, take my money, Sony. But here's the problem. That particular prototype that they put out that's more powerful should have been out first. Because
Mhm.
here's the thing, it's not rocket science, guys. Look at it from this angle. They know that these peripherals was going to come out. They know that the industry was going to be overrun by VR, right? They know all of this stuff before us, right? So it's a money making thing. Like if the Xbox Scorpio is really coming out in 2017 with the specs that they showed for the Xbox One Scorpio with the teraflop being
Yeah,
I
like
think
6
1 teraflop over the 980
GTX 980
Ti.
Ti.
Yeah. So it's like, wait a minute, shotgun. Wait a minute. If that is true, then why is the heck do we have this original crappy Xbox One
Exactly.
And you can't even run the Oculus Rift on the Xbox One right now because it's so underpowered compared to the PS4 to begin with. PlayStation VR cannot even run on the original PlayStation. It runs like crap on the original PlayStation 4. And to answer all of this, when the PlayStation 4 came out and they leaked out the specs, everybody was like, "Oh my God! Oh, it's a supercomputer! It's amazing!" And it's like, dude, this thing is underpowered. Okay, ridiculously underpowered. When you compare that to like a PC for $400, no competition. You can get a way better computer for $400 than buying a PlayStation 4. But that's not the meat and potatoes here. The meat and potatoes here is that these companies know what they're doing when they drop different variations of their consoles. Watch at E3.
They have to though.
Yeah, watch at E3 though. What they're gonna do with the Xbox One Slim? They're going to force you to buy it. They're going to add so much crap to it, bundle it with games, tell you all kind of trick and gimmick. Oh, it's more power efficient.
That's the marketing.
Yeah, it has 2 terabyte hard drive. Oh, you can download Halo 5 and you can download Overwatch. Watch and see what they're gonna do. I guarantee you, bro. I guarantee.
That's why I thought it was funny when they announced the PlayStation VR, but they did it in a slick way because they got everybody on board, which was great. But what they didn't really tell you was that the original PlayStation that you already bought ain't gonna be able to really run it. So what are you gonna run with your PlayStation VR? You have to have a PlayStation Neo, right?
Exactly.
What are you gonna run your PlayStation VR on if you can't do it on the original system? So
it's terrible. Yeah, it runs like trash.
$500 for the VR, and then let's add another $300 to $400 for another system.
Ooh,
really almost paid for. See, people are thinking like that. People are thinking, "Oh, I'm getting a VR. I'm pre-ordering that. Oh, I can't run it on the system. Damn. Oh, and they got a new PlayStation. Oh." It's it's bait and click. It's marketing, dude.
It's marketing. But see, this is the thing. Here's the thing. Now it brings me to my next theory. Sony, they really got to show the Neo either at E3 or Tokyo Game Show. They have to show it. You know why? Because the VR is coming out in October.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Now, so if you have the VR coming out in October, and the PlayStation 4, how you gonna play it? And the PlayStation 4 is on the power. How you gonna play it?
Exactly. How you gonna play it?
How you gonna play it? So
they've already shown their hand.
How are you gonna play it?
How are you gonna play the PlayStation VR
how
if
you're
you don't have
gonna
a system?
it.
Exactly.
Make it rain.
You're gonna play it. You're gonna pay it. That's why.
Here's how you're gonna pay it. Oh, did I say pay? I meant play. No. How you gonna play it?
It's marketing, man. They're very smart in how they do things.
Of course, man. Of course. It's a gimmick. It's a game.
That's slimy, though. I mean, that was almost as slimy as when they actually tried to get PC developers to lower the graphical capability of their games just so the consoles would be better.
Yep.
That was horrible.
You know what they're doing, man.
That's what it is, because the majority.
That was garbage.
The majority of players are console, so. As it says, it's maximizing profits. What's the best way that you can make the most money with spending the less money?
Of course.
And they think we're stupid. They really do. And it's just like, we're sitting here like, we know what you're doing.
And that's
knock it off.
That's why PC.
You want a treat?
Is so big is because you have people willing. To when you announce a next generation graphics card, you have people willing to say, you know what? Even though I don't need it, I want to be able to have the most power that I can possibly have, and I can do that. I can upgrade it anytime I want. I'm not bound by this generation rule. I'm not bound by anything. The minute I want to upgrade any component in my gaming system or in my system, I can go out and do it. And that's why it's such a successful market. And I think that the gaming community, the console community, is catching on to that. It's not going to be profitable for them to wait out 7, 8, 9 years for one console to sit on the market. They would stand to make more money by implementing these smaller upgraded systems. And I think that's what we're about to see now, is a new generation of console gaming. Yep, Of course, they're going to give you new systems every 3 to 4 years, and you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
Of course.
Console Plus attachments.
Exactly.
We're the dummies. We're the
Mandatory
dummies.
attachments.
We're definitely the dummies that's gonna do it. Like I said, man, E3 is right around the corner, and yo, like, we're gonna make sure that we have our Judge Hammer ready because it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, we know Bethesda is up first, then EA, then Microsoft, then Sony, and then it goes down the line to Nintendo, and everybody can't wait for next Tuesday. I mean, Tuesday after next for Nintendo.
PlayStation VR while
So
eating a sandwich.
it's crazy, man.
Good turkey.
Yeah, silly. All right, so the next topic that we have here is Red Dead Redemption 2 image leaked. Now, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm a huge Red Dead fan, actually. I played.
Who are they gonna
Red Dead
have?
Redemption.
That's my question. John
Uh,
Marston's dead.
no, hold on.
Oh.
Hold the horse. Hold the horse. We don't know who is going to be the main protagonist. We don't know if he had a kid. We don't know what's going to happen. All we know is that the first leaked information about this game was a map. Now we keep getting different images leaked out. Now, Joey, you basically posted an article on GamingRealm.com. By the way, you guys should check out GamingRealm.com. That's our website. Could you clarify some more information about Red Dead Redemption 2 for the fans, for all the Red Dead fans out there?
Yeah. Basically, a screenshot was taken of a supposed Red Dead Redemption. It was a screenshot, and basically what they went in and these people analyzed the photo, and basically they were saying that the chromatic aberration of the photo was not consistent with the past Red Dead Redemption, that they didn't have chromatic aberration like they did. So this has to be something new on a new engine created, whether it's Red Dead Redemption or not. It's just a rumor, but the photo looks very Red Dead Redemption. Another possibility to this screenshot, it could be that they could try to hold people off by releasing a definitive edition, a newer version of Red Dead Redemption, which could also be very possible until they're finished working on Red Dead Redemption 2. Would they do that? I don't know. But it is likely. Those two scenarios are very likely. And I guess, like I said, you can only wait and see what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. And from what I heard, they might have stage presence. They
could have a stage presence, exactly. So like I said, we don't know. There's going to be a ton of stuff at E3 that is going to fly under the radar, that people, because they're so focused on these big things like the NX and stuff like that, that these things are just going to fly right under the radar. And they're going to hit people, man. They're going to be like, I wasn't even thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of stuff that could release. Everybody's been clamoring for a new Age of Empires, and somebody found something about the new Age of Empires in Microsoft's API for their press release. So, will they release something about Age of Empires? We don't know.
Mm.
There's so many things, man.
Yeah, so many things. Like I said, I can't wait for E3 this year, because this is why E3 is E3, right? To bring the excitement, to bring the joy and happiness to everyone. It's like the Christmas for gamers, the Happy Hanukkah, right? So can't wait for Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully Rockstar, because Rockstar never really shows up at E3 at all. Like, they're very tight-lipped. They're actually worse than Nintendo when it comes to information. So
I mean, they went huge with Grand Theft Auto 5. So are they planning on doing the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2?
Of course. It's going to be the same. If there is their next financial year is coming up in, I believe, February or March of next year, so they have to release something very soon. So my guess it's either going to be Max Payne, another Max Payne game, or Red Dead, or it's going to be something completely new, or maybe a sequel to something that we come to know and love. And that's just the way how it's going to go.
I mean, this is way in the future, but you want to know what else I'm curious about? If they make a Red Dead Redemption 2, are they going to make a sequel to Undead Nightmare?
Mm, don't
I'm
hold your breath.
curious. I'm
Don't hold your breath.
curious.
Because you got to think about it,
Yeah.
that the engine that they ran the old Red Dead Redemption on is different than the one is different from the Rage engine that they have now. So
Yeah.
they can they can make it look a lot better, do a lot better things, a lot of
Like,
improvement over the first one that they've
Yeah,
done.
I don't mind when Rockstar makes zombie expansions. I mean, it's far rare and in few between. I mean, the only zombie thing they had with like Grand Theft Auto 4 was a funny skin of a zombie and a freaking Rockstar thong. And then freaking Red Dead Redemption, they had Undead Nightmare. They had all these zombie skins you could choose from. I was a little disappointed GTA 5 didn't do anything with zombies other than the Vinewood zombie. And really, there was like zombie masks and stuff, but not near as cool as Undead Nightmare. And like, I'm waiting in anticipation. I'm hoping there's some kind of reference or something to Undead Nightmare. I mean, I would like that. I would like that very much.
Could be.
Yeah.
yeah, could be, man, could be. So like I said, guys, we're just gonna have to wait and see more information regarding Red Dead 2. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see the new engine that they're um, that they're using for the game and such. But yeah, man, E3 is around the corner and sounds pretty exciting. Now, Ready at Dawn, very amazing studio. And they were the guys behind the Order 1886. Incredible looking game. Played it, beat it. A lot of controversy was going around the game being too short, and there was a lot of stuff around the launch of the Order 1886. So now Ready at Dawn is coming out with a second game that's under development, and it's going to be shown at E3. And it's going to be, all we know, it's going to be a AAA third-person action game and possibly have the whole VR component of some sort. Now, that's going to be amazing because Ready at Dawn, they really push, they're like Naughty Dog. They push the systems to their limit. And if it's going to have VR involved, obviously it's going to be the PlayStation VR. But like I said before, we're going to spend a lot of money this holiday season because if the VR is coming out at a certain time, and stay tuned, guys, we might have a holiday bundle guide from GamingRealm.com, and also we might make a podcast talking about holiday bundles that really cool deals that we think that would be great that you guys can pick up and take advantage of. Yeah, but back on the topic at hand here. I don't know. I think VR is really taking over the industry, and it's
It
taking
is.
the industry by storm, right?
It is.
So we're going to be spending a grip. Now, a lot of people was complaining about, oh, the Oculus is too much money. People was complaining about the HTC Vive being too much money. But think about it. You're going to spend about, if not more, on PlayStation VR. Yeah, the starting price for the PlayStation VR is $400, but you have to have the PlayStation Move, motion controls, you have to have a camera, you have to have all these extra things. And so they had a bundle when they first announced it for $500, and that thing was just sold out in minutes. But here's the problem. You cannot run that thing on the regular PlayStation 4. So if you're coming out with a much more powerful system, and the PlayStation 4 right now is at $399, the price for the PlayStation Neo is obviously going to be higher.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which means you're going to be paying anywhere from $499 to $450 for the PlayStation Neo, right? So here's the thing: you spend, say for instance, hypothetically, it's $499, right?
Mm-hmm.
So $499 plus
$500 for the VR.
$500 for the VR.
$1,000.
That's $1,000 plus tax. Now, exactly. So now, if you're the normal PC kind of guy, you relatively have something powerful enough to run the Oculus Rift, because the Oculus Rift, I think the minimum requirements is the iCore 5.
Yeah.
You can build an iCore 5 chip, iCore 5 system really cheap with the Skylake, the latest Skylake architecture, the i5, the 64 7K unlocked iCore 5, and get you a decent video card. You can jump on the 1070 for $399, and you know what I mean. There's so many different variations that you can jump on. You know what I mean, to get you a decent enough system that will be cheaper than spending $1,000 on the PlayStation VR. And that's just my whole theory. It's like, why am I spending $1,000 just to experience PlayStation VR? Unless you're a PlayStation fan, of course. But it's just that VR is expensive. When you think VR, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Will I try it out? I'll try it out at E3. I'll see how the PlayStation VR is, because from what I heard, a lot of people saying that it was crap. Some people said that they were hearing mixed bags, different things about the resolution of it. It's just I don't know, man.
I think the reason why most people be comfortable with jumping on PlayStation VR versus getting anything for a PC is because PlayStation VR, you at least know that the system that you're going to buy, like you said, the Neo, that would be able to power it, that it's going to be able to power it. There's no other external things that you need to add. Whereas when you're working with PC, there's all types of variables. There's memory. There's all types of variables to get the perfect run with a VR system like an Oculus or a Vive right now. So you'll end up spending more money going PC because you'll have to upgrade a lot of different peripherals to be able to play it correctly. So I think a lot more people will be willing to jump on a PlayStation VR, where all they need to know is, I just need to buy the system and buy the VR, and I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything else. And so it's interesting. Speaking of VR, though, I wanted to put this in there.
Go ahead.
Back last year, Razer at E3. I don't know if you saw it or not, or if you encountered it, but Razer teased their VR and HDK. Their little their developer kit for their VR headset. Well, they emailed a picture out to people on their mailing list for this E3, a picture of a new headset VR system. So,
wow.
And they said that it's going to be announced at E3 this year. So
when you go, surprised.
When you go, please, if you can, please try to go find out what this thing's about, because it's Razer.
So wait. Let me back up, because I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little bit of information from our Razer PR. So you're saying to me that Razer themselves are going to introduce a VR, basically console, or is it a VR device?
No. Last year in 2015, at CES they put out their developer kit for their Oculus Rift, if you would call it, their headset. This year they've sent out pictures of a new one to the people on their mailing list that are supposed to be there, saying 2 times the reality, unrestricted access, powered by innovation. Coming soon, E3 2016. So they said that they're going to be announcing it. If it's a redesign, we don't know, but they're going to be announcing it at E3 this year. So It's kind of exciting, because that's another player, again, popping into the VR scene.
Oh my God. Yo, what people fail to understand is the VR thing is old. Okay, like the technology behind the virtual reality thing, it's really old. It's just modified now with technology, modern day technology.
Better tech now.
And so we're cool with Razer. And if that's the case, I can't wait to really get my hands on it, or strike up an interview or something like that, and figure out what these companies are doing, because everybody and their mom is going to do VR. Everybody's going to be doing VR. Everybody's going to break in, because once I believe once the Oculus Rift trend with the whole Facebook thing, started out with VR, then that's when everything just took off. And then now we heard about HTC Vive. Now we heard about Samsung. Now we heard about all these people just jumping on VR. Sony, Microsoft. It's insane. And then possibly Nintendo. And I do think that Nintendo is going to eventually venture off into VR, and I think they should. And the reason why I say that, I'll tell you why. Because it will bring so much more immersive experience to Nintendo games. I mean, the possibilities are endless. The fact that you're able to play a Mario game in VR, and it's like, it would be insane. It will be insane, and people will buy the crap out of it because it will bring such a unique experience. Imagine if they announce Super Mario Galaxy 3 with VR, okay? And you put the goggles on, okay, and you're looking at it, the 3D depth and everything like that, and the quality is of course 1080p 60 frames per second, right? And when you put the goggles on, you're basically seeing right through the eyes of Mario, and you're walking on the planets and stuff and stepping on Goombas, and that would just be amazing. That would just take Mario games to a whole nother level. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Nintendo have the ability to drop bombs and crush the competition. The only way Nintendo is going to crush the competition is if they cater to the hardcore fans. Not the core fans. They cater to the core fans with the Wii.
Yeah,
now it's time to do it with the hardcore fans. And I feel like that will just bridge the gap between nonsense and stuff that actually makes sense. Because at the end of the day, if they cater to the hardcore fans, everybody is going to, I mean, people who is just a straight up Xbox fanboy is going to say, man, you know what? I'm a Nintendo fan, man. I grew up playing Nintendo, but they've been tripping lately, so I sure do love what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? I sure do love what they're doing with the NX. They got third-party support. They got Call of Duty Infinite on there. They got this game. They got that game.
It's like, there's no reason for me not to own this console. I want that feeling back.
Exactly. They got the online multiplayer aspect covered. It's mind-boggling.
I don't want to have a PlayStation if I don't need one.
Exactly.
If I can just have a Nintendo, I'll be good.
I'll be good. You know what I mean? I do feel like they can win us again. I do feel like they can win this race again. They just have to learn from their mistake. I hope to God that Nintendo learns from the Wii U's mistake, because that was just horrible marketing, horrible third-party support, horrible online, horrible, huge drought gaps in between the games and all of that. And I just feel like now that they're realizing that they messed up so bad, you can't put a Band-Aid on the situation. And I feel like the smartest thing that Nintendo could ever do in their life of being in existence in the entertainment business is to push the NX back till next year. That is the smartest thing that Nintendo has ever done. You know why? They can't
be first
rush.
No more.
No, they cannot rush the NX. They cannot rush the NX. They have to really stand back, okay, and really pencil out what they're doing. Because everybody's gonna be excited for the NX. I mean, for Zelda. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I grew up playing Zelda. Yeah, but after Zelda, when the hype dies down for Zelda, because it's not coming out this year, we're gonna want NX information. Now, there's one or two things that's gonna happen. Is either they're gonna show it off at E3, or they're gonna give it to us at the Tokyo Game Show, okay? Or they might have a standalone Nintendo event that is just dedicated to the NX, like its own standalone presentation, on stage presentation where they invite people like me and upper people in the industry to go. You see what I'm saying? Which I would love if let's say for instance, if they have an event just like what they did with the Wii U, they had an event in New York City, right? Same thing with the NX. If they have a standalone stage presentation, don't do a direct. Don't do a direct kind of presentation. Stand on stage, show off the system. Now, if Nintendo punch Microsoft and Sony in the face with 4K streaming ability, it's over. I mean, I'll drop. Dude, can you imagine being? I know this is sort of impossible unless you have a T1 tier 1 internet connection to stream 4K at 60 frames per second. Just imagine if that would be insane. That would be insane if they come out and say, we have our own streaming service now. Now you can stream from your Nintendo consoles with, I mean, straight from just like how you can stream from the PS4, you can stream straight from your NX to YouTube gaming and Twitch. If Nintendo does that, it's over, dog. It's a wrap. Wrap it up. It's a Subway sandwich. It's done. Because if they do that, that just let us know that they're catering, they're changing, they're shifting gears towards the hardcore fans. You see what I'm saying? That will let us know, like, all right, Nintendo is really getting out of their stubborn shell, and they realize their mistakes, and now they're like pushing it even further. So, man, look, at the end of the day, Nintendo has the ability to drop bombs. How they do
always
it?
have that ability, man.
Yeah, but it's just they're not doing it. You know what I mean?
For a company that's taken so many chances in the past,
oh my
to
God,
just see them clam up and just be almost like cowards, man, it's frustrating. I mean,
it's very frustrating.
With all the technology that we have today, why haven't we seen another Nintendo glove yet or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, do something crazy.
Yeah, it's like
that works. It's like you gave us all this crap back in the day that was so risky. Even up until the Nintendo 64, the Rumble vest, all that crazy stuff, man. Like,
it's insane, bro.
They take no chances anymore, man.
Stand up, get excited, try something.
They
wow us, surprise us.
No chances anymore, man. It's just like, come on, man.
It's sad, man. It's really sad. Like I said, Nintendo, the ball is in your court. And at E3, we know Sony is going to deliver. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to be in the, I'm going to
deliver.
Bro, I'm going to be in the conference on top of my lungs. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, we need Nintendo. A huge part of our childhood. We need them to do better. You know what I mean? We need them to step up and start giving us the games that we would like to see. You know what I mean? Like, they really gotta wow us, man. Like, Zelda, no doubt, is gonna be amazing. No doubt.
Always.
But it's like, who doesn't know that? I don't think that's enough hype to keep people going until next year.
I don't know,
we need
They're in the
something
same position
interesting.
Microsoft was in last year. This year, Microsoft has to deliver.
Otherwise,
they have to
Xbox
deliver.
dead.
It's done.
Yeah, we need something with as much nostalgia as a launch title. We really
That's what I'm
do.
saying, man. I mean, like they hyped this up last year, for everything. Then Quantum Break. I mean, how long have they been? They pushed Quantum Break back how long, and then they gave us that steaming pile of crap that they call Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
And it was so disappointing. It's like you get people this excited for something like this. Like, I don't understand. How can you do that? And you have a game that, like, Uncharted 4 come out, and it just completely, that is the epitome of what next gen title should be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Uncharted was. It was like, if we haven't seen a game yet to grace these consoles to say this is what a next gen title could be, it's Uncharted 4 for PlayStation.
I'd rather go to a bakery and get myself some quantum cake and then go back and go to the UDF and get myself a quantum shake.
That is what Quantum Break was supposed to be for the Xbox, and it was completely not.
It's very underwhelming. Very underwhelming.
Oh, man, dude. I mean, I've never raged over a game before that bad, but, oh, man. I think I immediately turned the game off and I raged.
I'll stick with Quantum Conundrum on the PC. That was better.
Quantum garbage. I don't know, guys.
Microsoft has to come out with some solid
games.
evidence of
I
games
want to see
that are
no
going
games
to release
for.
this year. I don't want to hear about nothing coming out next year. I'm not gonna fall for that banana in the tailpipe again. I ain't gonna do it. You better show me something this fall that's coming out that's
Real
gonna
talk.
deliver.
Hey,
Real
even if
Because
talk.
Nintendo fails, we potentially have something to be excited for. I mean, what was that Easter egg crap with Uncharted 4? You can't tell me that was nothing. That's crazy.
with the what are you talking about with the I'm
With the
about to say
Crash Bandicoot
I was about
game
to say
on
Banjo
Uncharted
Kazooie,
4,
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot game on,
Yeah, that was pretty
on
awesome.
Uncharted 4. And that's the thing. I'm curious as to why Naughty Dog would do that,
Yeah, but if
unless
you
they
remember
were
last
planning
E3,
something.
remember last E3 when Sony got up there to do their thing, they were I forgot who it was, but he was wearing the Crash Bandicoot shirt, and they said absolutely nothing about Crash Bandicoot. People were like, "Wait a minute, why aren't they saying anything about Crash Bandicoot? He's wearing a Crash Bandicoot shirt, for God's sakes."
Huh.
Didn't say nothing about Crash Bandicoot, and still they have not said anything.
Hmm.
I think that might have been some kind of subtlety tease, because it's
Yeah,
just like
and it's a year later. It's a year-long
you
tease.
do something like that, and it's like, why? Why would you do
Why
that?
would you do that?
You know
Exactly.
these people want another
Oh my
Crash
god.
Bandicoot.
Clickbait.
Ever since Crash Mind Over Mutant, there hasn't been a Crash Bandicoot, and none of them were as good as like the Crash Bandicoots from the PlayStation era.
You know why? Because Activision took over it. That's why. It's pretty much a no-brainer.
But you're meaning to tell me Naughty Dog doesn't have enough power or enough money to get it back?
I don't
I
think
I
so,
mean,
don't.
man.
It'd probably be a lot. Well, I wouldn't say it's a lost cause, but I mean, oh man, like I said, man, I think it's time for innovation. I think it's time for creativity, and like we were saying earlier, I'm tired of rehashes. Um, I'm just tired of them.
Crash Bandicoot,
Get
Kazooie.
the minds of that generation that gave us the great games that we have now. When are we going to see another era of developers who can
I
give
mean,
us better quality new IPs?
I'm waiting for Ukulele. I am waiting for Ukulele.
I'm holding out for games like Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm holding out for games like that to be able to just perform. Give us something new, fresh. I don't want to go back. I don't want to see another rehash of an Uncharted, even though it would be good, or Tomb Raider or any of these old games. I don't want to see. They had their time and they were golden. Leave them like that. Don't tarnish them by putting out half. I was about to curse. Half. You know what I mean? Don't give us half baked products. I'm trying to find a word.
Half baked. I know what you were gonna say.
Have
I
garbage.
would I would
Yeah.
gladly say it.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's like those games were golden for that generation and that time, man.
That's
Don't
all
bring
they
it
do,
back and do it injustice. That's why we see Sonic in such a horrible condition
man. Yep.
because they
They
have
don't
no
care, man.
creativity for it. They don't know
Yeah.
how to remake it and make it better. So move on from that.
Yeah, they don't care, man. They really don't. Like I said, guys, this was a banging show today. I really enjoyed myself, like seriously. And at the end of the day, like I said, E3 is around the corner. And all the stuff that we talked about today, I hope it didn't fall on deaf ears because the fans, that's why we do what we do and we stand up and we speak the truth through articles, written on GamingRealm.com. You guys should go check that out. Somebody plug that in the chat so people can check that out. But yeah, that's why we do what we do. Like we're not gonna sit here and sugarcoat anything. We're gonna tell you the truth. We're gonna tell you how we feel about games or a game that we play. We're gonna be honest and upfront with you guys when we do these podcasts. That's why the podcast is called Let's Talk Gaming because we're gonna talk about everything gaming that's going on in the interactive industry. And so, like I said, E3 is going to open up so much more doors for us as far as information and everything. So check out GamerRealm.com for written articles, review E3 nonstop coverage, opinion pieces, rumors, everything that's going on in the industry. That's going to be your one-stop shop for articles and stories and everything like that. And y'all stay subscribed on the channel as well. I really want y'all to go check out my man Sharpwing. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Check him out. He's a moderator on the channel, of course. And my man, I'm English TV. Check him out. He covers tech stuff. So for all the tech lovers out there, I'm pretty sure everybody loves tech. Tech is everything, so you should love it. It's a part of gaming. It's part of everything that we do. It's part of this camera, this microphone. Everything is tech. So go check him out. And yeah, I had a banging time doing this podcast today, and it was great. Now, I'm going to start from my left to my right, so I'm going to say English. Go ahead, plug yourself, man. Let people know who you are for new viewers that's just checking you out, and let them know what they can expect from you.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me again, man, and I really appreciate it being here. Like, we get so passionate about this, man, and I like it. I love it. You know what I mean? Anybody who's interested in tech, go check out my channel. I do a lot of tech reviews, and I love doing it and being really successful at it right now. So I'm really loving the space and what kind of influence I'm having right now. So if you want to check me out, please go do it. I would love to see you on the channel and have you there. And thanks for having me again, man.
Oh man, that's no problem, man. The pleasure is all mine. Like I said, that's what makes Let's Talk Gaming amazing. One of the best podcasts on YouTube in general, because it's just, we are not just fanboys. We're gamers. We're journalists. You know what I mean? Where journalism lies is with a journalist and a gamer. So you have to be a gamer before you become a journalist, so you can understand what you're writing about and people can understand what you're talking about. So at the end of the day, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. Everything that we talked about in the podcast is how we feel. Now, you guys might feel a little bit different, you know, from the things that we talk about and stuff, but it's just how we feel about it, and it's the truth. You know, you guys need to hear the truth. So I'm going to start on my right. Sharpwing, go ahead, man. Plug yourself. Let people know what you're about, man.
All right, thanks, Marlon. Anyways, go check out my channel, Sharpwing. It probably uses a different link handle because it still uses that old tacky username I made when I was in middle school. Why? Why did I go with that username? That's one thing I don't like about Google right now is you cannot change that link. I don't like that. But I'm going to be uploading some content here soon of the game Dead by Daylight. It's still in its beta. If any of you guys enjoyed slasher movies like Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then Dead by Daylight is definitely the kind of game for you. It's a very promising game, and I did a whole bunch of videos on it with my buddies in collaboration with my buddy Private Duke, Scottish Pride 17, Saga Sage. That was amazing. On top of that, you know, just feel free to check out my Twitch. I do some live streams there every once in a while. And I'm probably going to be live streaming the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game soon on there. But
Looks like an awesome game, by the way, too.
yeah, it does look like an awesome game. And last but not least, probably one of the most important details, shoot Marlon up at E3 when he's there. I helped him make a design for some business cards he's going to give out, and that's going to be great. So, yeah, check those cards out. Those of you that haven't subscribed to Games and Wario yet, definitely do that. Definitely go check out English here and myself.
Appreciate it, man.
And it's going to be a grand one. I mean, I was really glad to have contributed to your endeavors in E3, Marlon. That was great.
Man.
I was glad to have made the stream interface, help you out there. I was glad to have, like, you know, done all
the moderation and all that. Yeah.
It was good being moderator. It was good being on a lot of these past podcasts, and it's going to be good to be on more. I appreciate it.
You know what I'm glad about, man? I'm glad to be meeting new people with positive mindsets, man. It's really important. It's really important, and I'm glad.
I mean,
being exposed to people like yourself.
Yeah, that positivity is very important, and it's very
positivity,
important,
man.
that
Especially in this community. This community is.
And like, it's very important that we can look at the little things and take enjoyment out of that, and I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about Let's Players, game journalists, and
Oh my
game
god.
reviewers being pretty big, especially indie game journalists, because like not all journalists have been credible nowadays. A lot of them are just being giant slime balls. Let's be honest here.
Hey, Marla, also tell them to go check out the make sure they check out the new the Game and Realm HD channel,
Oh,
as well as the website, because we're going to be doing a slew of game reviews in the next coming weeks. So stay tuned for all the game reviews that are going to be coming up. Cause,
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
want
guys.
to place a link to that Game and Realm HD channel? I don't have that handle here.
Yeah, you got it, English?
uh, I can grab it real quick. Let me grab it. Dum, dum, dum.
My lord. You see the chat? You see the chat, Sharpwig?
Yeah, people being crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sega is starting to rise back up. Nintendo Dario does have a point about that. They're
So
rising
where's
back up with Yakuza. It's becoming an amazing game series, and I've heard word there's a chance they might be porting some Yakuza games to the PC. That would be great.
check the chat on the Google?
Yakuza would play amazingly on the
Okay,
PC.
nice. All right, there we go. Let me just go ahead and plug this. All right, guys, go ahead and check out Game and Realm HD. It's the second child of GameandRealm.com. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel because we're gonna have host of different things on there, game reviews, podcasts, and a host more different things. So it's very important. Go check out Game Realm HD, please, and take part into everything that we have to offer there, as well as GameandRealm.com for sure. Go over there, register, check it out. Thank y'all so much. I know it's getting late. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and stay tuned for episode 8 of Let's Talk Gaming. Peace, and we are
Peace out,
out.
guys.